right, back for another video, and I want to go ahead and talk about this Meta thing. As it was pointed out to one of my subscribers, Ariella mentioned on my channel on one of my videos, she mentioned it on the Spiritual Roundtable of 2022. She mentioned that Meta in Hebrew is death, and it refers to women. And I was like, oh, wow. In the American dictionary, Meta means beyond. So quite possibly, maybe it's afterlife or beyond life, because we've always known about metaphysical, but meta in Hebrew is death. So let's go check it out. All right, so we know what meta is, and it's going to be tied to the Facebook company. It says formerly Facebook, and it's going to help these technologies connect to different people and communities and grow businesses, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, what they're setting up is the antithesis of life. As we know, this is a synthetic life that they're offering now to people that want to become part of the metaverse and to lose their souls and minds into this technology, because all of this technology that we're using today is black magic. It is tied to the underworld, and I keep telling people this. It is the moon star or monster world that is taking over with this technology. And yes, absolutely, it is here on Earth, and it is growing, but most people don't really have that kind of awareness, which is okay. I mean, everybody's got to go through their own challenges and their own truth. So I've just been looking into some of the different aspects of it, and yes, it says Facebook's new meta handle means dead in Hebrew. This is on the timesofisrael.com. And don't worry, we're on it. Tweets Zaka emergency service after rebranding announcement, and the Hebrew-speaking social media users poke fun at the name change. Yeah, and this symbol is basically a figure 8, and the figure 8 is infinity. So it's also going to be something that's symbolizing, look, endless life. But your life is going to be much different if you enter into the metaverse, because you will become part of the Borg. This is going to be for the future. Now, they have not announced this yet, but I have seen the evidence in science magazines and Science World News in different places where they're saying, oh, no, this is fake. This is fake news about how they can clone you, clone your body if you wish, or you can get a new sleeve and you can have your consciousness uploaded to the cloud that will then allow you to live forever. But I do say that this is going to be more suffering, because to live is to suffer, and you will never experience going back up to the light of heaven until at some point after the age of Aquarius, possibly, or unless they can somehow maintain control of your soul in the underworld. I have no idea how that works. I'm sure that this entire thing with this technology is going to have some effect, though, on your soul in the afterlife. And this is what it's basically doing. It's going to be a soul collection unit for the underworld and not for ascension. The people who maintain their sovereign right to grow and evolve by dying and reincarnating, that's the natural evolution of soul. But for those people who are like, I want this instantly, I just want to be able to live forever, I just want all this instant awareness and these instant abilities, that is coming with this technology. They're going to say, oh, look, you can be like a superhero and have all these amazing features. Just open up your brain cavity and put these microchips in. We've already injected you with all kinds of crazy components that are creating a neural network that's for the internet mostly. So yeah, that's what's happening with this. And we already know that they've already announced all this stuff. But in Israel, the renaming caused quite a stir. And as the new company name is similar to the Hebrew word for dead. In Hebrew, meta means dead. Tweets Nerit Weiss-Blot, a tech expert, in response to the company's announcement. The Jewish community will ridicule this name for years to come. Actually, these are the purveyors. I have to say that this is where it's all coming from. This swindler word here, that it begins with a J, is actually at the helm of all of this. And it's not the people. Let's take a step back. The people need to stop identifying with particular terms, words, religions, and all of these things, because we are the ones who actually are the rulers, the true rulers of earth. And what we have are usurpers of this world that is supposed to be ours by divine right. And if you've seen some of my other videos, I have a little meme or a diagram of how man is under God and then governments are under man. But as things have progressed through these dark times and the dark ages is, and that's what we're currently in, actually, we're in the dark age, they've actually changed our minds in this regard by tricking us and putting themselves to rule over us. And this is the underworld. This is the moon stars. They actually worship the dark star, which is the dark side of the moon. It's all these aspects of Saturn and all of these other terms they use. I'm really getting a new perspective on Saturn as I keep progressing forward with more and more knowledge. And I'm starting to think that this is the time when the sun is at its darkest point, and that the sun is considered the dark sun or the dark star at this point, because there's a breath, there's an inhalation and an exhalation for the cosmos, just like we breathe. And so as I'm learning all of these different things and alchemy and about Saturn and the planetary bodies and all this stuff, these energies are all around us at all times. And it's just a way to distill our soul through alchemical processes. And that's the whole purpose of this existence, is to go through the points of alchemy. If you look up alchemy and see all of the different effects of alchemy, we have every effect just like that in our body. And it's quite amazing to make these connections, and it will bring you back around. You will elevate your consciousness and go, oh, wow. And especially if you're like me, like I'm triple air sign, so I'm going to ponder on these types of things. And my mind is always wandering across different subjects, and it will land on a certain thing, and I will get answers based on my questions that I ask inwardly. The answers will absolutely come. And this is all we have to do. To reconnect to your spirit is to trust and know that your divine connection has always been there with you, but you just haven't trusted it. So let's take a look at alchemy for a moment so you can see. So this is the great work, and the great work is the work of alchemy within yourself. So there has different stages and phases, but they actually have. So here we have the alchemical processes, and you guys can look this up and research more. The alchemical magnum opus was sometimes expressed as a series of chemical operations. In cases where these numbered 12, each would be assigned one of the zodiac signs as a form of cryptography. The following example can be found in Pernetti's Dictionnaire Mytho-Hermetique. It's basically hermetics. So the first stage is calcination. This usually happens in spring with Aries. So then you have congelation. Now think of this too as the great work on the great wheel of time, because we get distilled in all of these different things through the different ages that we incarnate. And your soul is going through all of these different phases to then elevate and be perfected in the great work. So calcination, congelation, fixation, solution, digestion, distillation, sublimation, separation, ceration, fermentation, multiplication, and projection, which is Pisces. So as you can see here, there's 12 phases of this. Now, your body does the same exact thing. As you eat the food, you digest the food, it goes down in and it starts breaking it apart, and then it distills it and separates it and does all these different things. And then eventually it projects out of you. This is the same exact process of alcoholism when you go through the 12 steps. You also go through the 12 steps of the calendar cycle. You also go through the 12 hours or 12 Horuses in the day. It's across the sky. Horus crosses the sky in 12 steps. Horus is the sun in Egypt's time. And Horus also turns into the moon star at night. It's the moon star. The monsters come out at night. That kind of thing. So all of this is tied into one, and we just need to recognize it by learning more about these things that are here for us to explore and discover. Again, we're just rediscovering all the lost knowledge. So I just wanted to cover this just a little bit, about this metaverse and how it actually is tied to the underworld, and how, yes, absolutely, it probably does mean dead. And that this new term that we've been using, even for the metaphysical, is also probably bad because we're constantly casting spells at each other. So just another connection that I wanted to share with you guys, and I will catch you guys on the next one.